Hi, this lesson will give you a basic understanding of how to use the camera tools. Before you begin, you need to go to the online classroom and download the project file called Camera Basics. If your computer seems to be lagging at any time during the process of going through this lesson, you can just delete the layers Leaves To and Leaves. There's kind of a lot going on in there, and it's possible that your computer may not be up to the challenge. Now we'll go through two different types of camera animations. First, in the Layers palette, click on Layer 1 near the bottom. This layer doesn't have any animations on it, and so you won't get confused looking at a mess of other keyframes when we create these camera keyframes. In the timeline, go to frame 48. In Tools, look underneath the word Camera. You have Track Camera, Zoom Camera, and Roll Camera. We're going to create a keyframe for each one. Click on the first camera, the Track Camera, and then in a blank area over here, just click once. You'll see that created the keyframe. Click to the next camera, the Zoom Camera, and then go and click once over here. That created another keyframe. And the third camera. Click once. So now we have a keyframe for each camera on frame 48. This will prevent any camera motion from 48 backwards to 0. Now from 48 and onward for several seconds, we'll do a slow zoom in. In the timeline, click to frame 144. Go back over here and click on the zoom camera. That's the one in the middle. Point in front of the animation. Hold your left mouse button down while you drag downwards. We can adjust it so the characters are a little higher up by going over here and selecting the track camera and pointing over here in front of the animation. Hold your left mouse button down and then drag upwards. So basically we've pulled everything closer to us and we've adjusted it. Now we're not going to do anything with the roll camera, but while we're over there at frame 144, we can click on the roll camera icon and click once over here to create a keyframe at 144. So each of the three cameras now have keyframes at 48 and then 144. So click back here to approximately frame 36 and push your play button and watch what happened from 48 to 144. Now select all of these keyframes here. All the ones on 48, all the ones on 144. Point over top of any one of the keyframes and right mouse button click. You remember this menu from before and how I said that the default is always smooth? So this created a kind of a subtle easing in and easing out of that camera motion. If we want it to be truly even from the beginning, from frame 48 all the way through to frame 144, then we need to choose linear. And I'm doing it for everything, okay? And then test it again, clicking back to approximately frame 36 and pushing the play button. And you should notice that it's a little bit more even now. Now I'm going to go back to frame 144, click there, make sure it shows up here. We'll hold this position for a while and then abruptly snap back to what the scene looked like at the very beginning. Let's say we're going to hold that steady up to frame 192. So right here, click on 192. The way to hold this steady is by clicking over here to each of these three and clicking once in an area to create a keyframe. while we're still there. So there was my roll, and I'm working backwards now. There's my zoom camera, clicking once, and my track camera, and clicking once. So if you see down here, now we have the keyframes. So I'll drag the scrub bar across. So it's holding steady now from 144 to 192. If I want to abruptly snap back to the way this scene looked in the beginning, I just go to frame 193, just one more frame further on. So I'm at 193 now. And when I go through each of these cameras, I click the reset button up here in the settings for the camera. So I'm at track, click reset. I'll click on the zoom camera, up here, click reset. And then again with the roll camera, even though we didn't do anything, I'll click reset. Now let's hold that steady for a while. I'm going to have to horizontally scroll across the timeline. I'm going to click on frame 264. So we just want to keep everything the same through here to 264, which means we create the keyframes again for each of the three cameras. So I've got roll camera selected. I'll click once here, made a keyframe. Going to the zoom camera, click once here, made a keyframe, and then track camera, click once. All right, so everything stays the same from 193. Okay, no change in the camera. Now, one more frame. I'm at 264. I'm going to go to 265. And I'm going to zoom in real close to the characters. So first let's start with zoom, the one in the middle. Click, drag, and drag some more. I need to position them, so I go over here to track camera. Click, drag, I'll put them right there. And again, I could just go ahead, just in case, click on the roll camera and click once to create a keyframe even though we didn't do anything with roll. So we go from the normal to very quickly close up. Let's say we're going to hold the close up for, oh gee, let's go to 336. We create the keyframes while we're still in this close up. So again, working backwards. I'm at the roll camera, click once. Go over here and choose the zoom camera, go over here, click once. And the track camera, click once. Keyframes. So 265 through 336, no change in the camera. Now, one more time, let's abruptly snap back out to what the scene looked like originally. Go to 337. With each camera, do a reset. I'm at the track camera, up here, click reset. Choose the zoom camera, up here, click reset. Down here, we'll do the roll camera, click reset. Okay, so if I just go back here on the timeline a little ways, pull the scrub bar across, there's the close-up, and it snaps back to what the scene looked like at frame 0. Keep in mind that the closer you get on a close-up, it takes a lot longer to render the video. So if you're working with the camera and you do something where it's a really close close-up and then you want to render your video and it seems like it's taking a long time, that's what it is. Now I've rendered mine out and here's what it looks like. We get the slow zoom in at the beginning and then it cut back away, a close-up, and cut back out to the distance again. So render this out using File Export Animation, upload it to your video sharing service so that you can share the link with me in the classroom assignment area.